Welcome back, guys, to episode 4 of the US series. So, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to raise the interest rate, and we're going to raise it by 50 basis points. Alright, and the next thing we want to do is want to start addressing some more of the high crime. So we're going to increase the drug task force by 2 stars, which is 1 billion. Alright, reduce the debt. We're going to go with 40 billion. Just to make sure our police departments are not corrupt, we're going to go with 772 million towards internal affairs. And I'm going to do 1 star for Vice Squad. So the next thing we're going to do is go to Justice. And at the moment we have 8,222 prisons. So we're going to increase that by, let's see, I'm going to go with 578 prisons. So that brings our prison objective up to 8,800. And hopefully that should deal with the high crime. Alright, so we're meeting with Jamaica, and our intent is to purchase bauxite, which is needed to produce aluminum. So we want to try to get a good price. We're not paying 314 million. So their average sales price is 33.42. So we will offer them 23.62. Let's do 27, 30, 32. Alright, so we're only paying 231 million for the bauxite.
Very kind.
And we're going to end this meeting. Alright, so the Artemis 2 space program is at risk of failure by 21%. So we're going to go ahead and address that. So we're going to increase the budget by 800 million. And then we're going to change the launch date by 1 month to see how much of a difference that makes. So at the moment, there's a 0% risk of failure. So we'll see how that pans out over time. Alright, so Belarus and Russia are now going at it. We're still going to stay out of that conflict altogether.
You have negotiated a splendid contract that will undoubtedly help improve our economy. Again, well done.
Alright, and... okay, so that's definitely 0.
It must be conceded that there is a stalemate between the two armies. The conflict is likely to go on for some time.
Alright, that's still not my concern. Let's go to industry. And so we're currently subsidizing aluminum by 1.5 billion. We're just going to go ahead and make that 3 billion. Alright, we're going to increase our production of gold, or better yet, our mining of gold. I'm going to give 2 billion towards that. Iron is something that we really need. So we're going to make that 1.5 billion. And let's see, mortar rounds, sorry, so that's fine. Plastic industry. Once we produce a little more oil, I'll start subsidizing that. We still want to upgrade our military. So we're investing 200 million. We're going to make this 700 million. And missiles. So that's 500 million. We're going to make that an even 1 billion. Alright, so we have the anti-sleep molecule. We're the first one, so yeah, we'll go ahead and patent that. Go ahead and patent digital paper. We'll keep this to ourselves.
Your commitment to defending family values is a model for the whole of humanity.
Alright, I still want to go in and take out some of their military. Especially if this is under a different regime than before. So we're going to take our top agent from China and put him in Afghanistan. I'm going to start taking out the terrorist network that's in Afghanistan. And we're going to go ahead and for the moment, we're going to put 2 cruisers in the area that would be within striking distance of a few of their bases. So we basically want to decapitate a good portion of their military, if not the entire military altogether. And we're going to send 1 nuclear submarine to the area. So let's check how our economy's doing. 2.42 in growth. What about our debt? Debt is starting to flatline a little. So let's make an adjustment with the taxes. And how are we making out with... Alright, so it just dropped a little more. But that's not what we wanted to do, is starting to flatline again. But that's only because I spent so much money, so we're going to try to offset that a little. So what if we make this 0.4? That's not going to pass, but I know 0.03 will. So we'll do that. People entering the territory. We'll make that 23. And what about gambling? That should also help with crime. They're not going to go for it. Point 0.4. That'll add another 47 million. We'll go ahead and deal with that. What about the sales tax? Can we get a little more out of that? No. Alright, so just go ahead and leave that alone. Okay. Alright, we'll still keep that to ourselves. And robotic vision, we'll keep that. Alright, and actually let's go to immigration. There's still a couple things we need to make adjustments on. So we're gonna not recognize just solely. And let's take a look at the highest illegal immigration. So that's Mexico, India, Philippines, China, El Salvador. Okay. Alright, so let's go to China. Do that. What was the other one in the Philippines? Next is India. Alright, so we already have tight control on that. I believe it's El Salvador and Guatemala. And let's go with Uruguay. So hopefully we should start seeing some kind of reduction. Alright, so there is a reduction so far.
The demonstrators intend to send a powerful signal of their opposition to the government. Up until now, we have no serious incidents to report. The processions and their usual batch of caricature banners and ridiculous refrains continue their route led by leaders of the movement.
Alright. And they're not really causing a problem for now. The other thing I wanted to do was modify economic immigration quotas. So we're going to drop this by another 2,000. And we have 67% approval. And we're not giving them anything. So let's go to our detention centers. So we have 2,400 so far. I'm not going to do much with that for now.
The march has been placed, as you can imagine, under high surveillance. I won't dwell on the esoteric or cloudy demands that they have been reported to us. Just know that up until now, the situation has been under control.
Alright, and let's go to... Alright, life expectancy has improved. Let's go to maternity hospitals. Want to increase our population. So we're going to build 25 maternity hospitals. And let's go to family. So because we want to increase our population, going to have to make an adjustment. Alright, so that's 62% approval. Let's see, what's a good name for this? Alright, so population. Let's just go with the Population Act. I can't really think of anything. Oh, it's 2023. We'll create that and regulate contraception. So the larger the population, the more money we can bring in from taxes.
Our agents that have infiltrated this organization confirm their window of opportunity. It goes without saying that the operation is risky, but if successful, the short and long-term benefits are almost incalculable.
Okay, we'll go ahead with that.
The march has been placed, as you can imagine, under high surveillance. I won't dwell on the esoteric or cloudy demands that they have been reported to us. Just know that up until now the situation has been under control.
Okay, so we have a forest fire in Alaska. Let's give 3 billion towards that. Alright, and South Africa wants to meet with us. Alright, so our ships are starting to get within range. Let's send 2 more of our cruisers. So, I plan on, like I said, I plan on dealing with Afghanistan. But I'm also looking at Somalia also to do an operation there. I mean, look at all these terrorist camps. So we're going to
The
deal
march
with
has
that
been placed, as you can
in time.
imagine, under high surveillance.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and close that
The
out.
population affected by the disaster is in a very precarious situation.
Okay, so we gave more than enough. So we gave them 3 billion, so they have more than enough to compensate them.
As I predicted, the systematic analysis of the habits of small groups has allowed us to strike a serious blow at the terrorists. We can now state with certainty that we have entered into a Najaf cycle, which is no less than an incitement to...
Alright, so we took out 15% of their network. Alright, here we go again. 4% chance of failure. We'll deal with that later on. So let's go to transportation. And let's build a hyperloop to Toronto. We'll just go ahead and pay for the whole thing, which is 4.2 billion. This is going to raise it to 5.1 billion, but it will be done in 2 months. So we'll go ahead and do that.
Our services report a new conspiracy theory that is beginning to take hold on social media.
Alright, so let's go ahead and address that. We'll have the FBI take care of it. Let's start another campaign for that, and one for this one. So, past 38 bills so far. Now let's go to Secret Service, let's go to terrorists. Let's go ahead and put these guys under surveillance.
The bill has been voted on and the law has been passed.
Alright, so that passed.
The bill has been voted on and the law has been passed.
Alright, so
The
more
march has been placed,
immigration
as
control.
you can imagine, under high surveillance. I won't dwell on the esoteric or cloudy demand.
Good morning! I didn't come empty-handed. In fact, I wanted you to see in order to submit to you this economic contract which, as you will see, is profitable for both.
Alright, so what do they want to sell us? Coal. They produce more than enough to sell, but it's not going to really budge our supply by much. So I'm going to go ahead and decline. It is cheaper though. Yeah, I really don't want to outsource coal production. I'd rather do that myself. So let's offer him champagne and then end this meeting.
The bill has been voted on and the law has been passed.
Demonstrators are marching in several cities.
Alright, so from Buffalo to Toronto, we have a Hyperloop being built. Alright, let's go with... Alright, so coal. I thought I was subsidizing that, I guess I was wrong. Alright, so we're really not meeting close to our demand. So let's go ahead and let's invest $3 billion into coal. Let's check inflation real quick.
One of my men succeeded in infiltrating Key Center. According to my calculations,
And let's go ahead and take the chance. Alright, so when is... Alright, so that should have passed
The bill
already.
has been voted on and the law has been passed.
Alright, so...
The bill has been voted on and the law has been passed.
Demonstrations are taking place at... The march has been placed as...
These people really don't like my immigration policies, but oh well. And let's go to research. We're going to invest in agriculture. Always going to need to produce more food for ourselves. so we don't have to outsource
Everything
it.
has been implemented in the country to prepare for the national holiday.
The recent abolition of jus soli will have two contrary effects on the number of foreigners. On the one hand, this will discourage illegal immigrants who want citizenship for their children who are born in our territory. On the other, children of legal immigrants will no longer be granted citizenship and will be considered resident aliens. That being said, the intention matters more than the numbers, which we can make to say anything, because in the end, there will be a decline in the flow of illegal immigrants.
Alright, so that's back up to 20% again. Let's take a look at something real quick. No, not massive regulation. We're gonna do deportation. So we're gonna do a massive operation to deport as many illegal immigrants as we can. And of course the public's not gonna really like that
Demonstrations
too
are
much.
taking place at this very moment in the country's main city.
Our infiltrated agents had the chance to carry out a sabotage operation. A sort of Bulgarian opening, if you'll allow me the analogy, that according to my calculations would produce a two-figure dynamic impact, superior in absolute index to the harmful potential of a failure.
I'm gonna refuse that. Let's see. There's something else I wanted to do. So, we're gonna hire 100 more agents to put in other countries, and we're gonna increase our cyber analysts because we should be around that threshold of them being done upgrading our cybersecurity to gold. So that should be done pretty soon. Let's check with our growth. And inflation still going down. So let's start doing some housing projects, and we're going to rehabilitate 150,000 homes. Because of the high inflation, let's regulate these rent increases.
The march has been placed, as you can imagine, under high surveillance. I won't dwell on the esoteric or cloudy demands that they have been reported to us. Just know that up until now, the situation has been under control.
Alright. Let's go ahead and look at the aid that we're given. So we're going to take back the aid from South Sudan and from Tanzania. Yeah, we'll take it from Iraq also. And I'm going to take that from them also. Alright, so there's nothing over 500 million that we're giving out. as more time goes on, the more we're going to decrease that aid.
The vote was held and the reform was adopted.
Alright, so the Population Act was passed.
I wanted to congratulate you on your pro-life decision. It's just another reminder that abortion is the murder of an innocent and defenseless human being. By bravely putting yourself in the position that you did, I can assure you that the faithful will join me in supporting your decision.
Alright, so all of these guys complaining about the economic aid that I cut off.
It's true that the blow cannot really be described as fatal. 2 arrests. Our governmental cell informs me that it has had the opportunity to approach this potential.
The demonstrators intend to send a powerful signal of their opposition to the government. Up until now, we have no serious incidents to report.
Alright, let's go ahead and check with inflation. So we're finally under 6%. Let's look at the workforce, 3.49. Let's cut back at the employment agency. And so if we increase the work hours, can actually produce more goods without having to hire more. Another 5 hours would probably make a decent decent improvement. Let's see, 39. That'll make it, but barely. And let's go ahead.
Your policy leaves us no other choice but to send you a warning in the form of a one-day national strike scheduled for next week. We already know that many employees will reply to our call.
Alright, so the only way I could... Well, I don't think that's going to really do too much. One-day strike isn't going to really hurt me too much. Alright, so growth is up to 2.65.
Our agent number 1 succeeded in infiltrating the staff. Imponderables accepted, we are therefore able to release a Type E net informational profit. I mean, huge. Ahem. In concrete terms, our extraordinary number 1 is in a situation to obtain any valuable information of tactical interest. Needless to say, the geopolitical advantage clearly surpasses the ratio of 138 to 1.
Alright, so that did hurt my approval rating. Dropped by 5.1%. Let's go to debt. It's been pretty steady. It hasn't really gone up any. So before we end this episode,
the demonstrators intend
more demonstrations. Alright, that's still going up. Alright, so let's increase our oil production. So we're going to build 5 more shale oil wells. we're going to build them in both Pennsylvania and Ohio. Alright, so that's one more. Alright, so we're building 5 more.
Our scientific cell infiltrated an important research center. According to the information theory, we are therefore potentially able to obtain industrial.
Alright, let's see what we can get from them. Hopefully it's the hypersonic missile. Okay, our cybersecurity is now at level gold.
Our sportsmen are ready. But if I may, a few...
Alright, so I think I'm going to end this episode.
The bill has been voted on and the law has been passed.
Our governmental cell informs me that it has had the opportunity to approach this.
Yeah, I'm going to end this episode, so again, thank you for the support. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and feel free to click the like if you enjoyed this episode. So, thank you again, and I will see you soon.